guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, high school, and recent graduate. Today I'm going to be doing a homeschool plan with me in the B6 Common Planner. This is the academic year Common Planner that Sterling Inc. came out with maybe in April. And if you are new, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. I decided very last minute, like I think maybe the week before we started homeschooling, that I was going to try using this instead of my typical Erin Condren teacher planner, which is the only planner that I have ever used for homeschool planning. I had actually gone back and forth because I thought that I might use the Mom Agenda. Oh, I'm smudging all the ink. That's great. I thought I might use the Mom Agenda planner because it is laid out so nicely for kids and having stuff for kids, but I still thought it was just a little bit too large for me. They do have a smaller one, and I really do want to get that to look at it because it could be something that works in the future. But ultimately, I did decide to try this B6 Common Planner, and I really like it. I've not been doing so well with the weekly planning pages because I'm just unsure how to use them at this point. Like I said, I started using this. I think I got it like the week before we started school or a few days before we started school. And so I didn't have all of the months of lead time that I usually have with my planner to play and figure out exactly what I want to put in it. So this is where we're at, and that's totally okay. I have mainly been using these notes pages, and I think somebody maybe had mentioned in my last homeschool plan with me, why don't I just use a notebook? Whoops, my nail got in the way there. Instead of the planner, since I'm really just using the notebook pages at this point. And the reason is because I will go back in and backfill all of the monthly calendars and weekly planning pages as far as what we have actually done. I haven't been so great at that right now, but that is something that I will do to make sure that I have all of the days of school. That's what I kind of keep in my monthly calendar section. I write down when we're doing school, when we have breaks, if we're doing field trips, all of that kind of stuff. And then the weekly planning, because I've been doing my actual lesson plans in the notes pages, I started out time blocking my days in here, just kind of a rough estimate so that I could see when I'm working with Lucy and when I'm working with Jack, because I'm doing a lot more school with Lucy this year and the same amount with Jack. So he has probably about 5-6 hours of work, and she has close to 3.5-4 hours going into 5th grade. Not every day. Some days are lighter than others, but for the most part, she has a good chunk of the morning where she needs my help with homeschool. And so it's been a little bit of a balancing act trying to figure that out, because when I've homeschooled multiple kids in the past, well, Lucy's been really little, so we haven't had to do an enormous number of hours in a day. And so I could finish up, in the morning and be done, and she could just play the rest of the day. And then Emma and Jack were older, and I combined them on a lot of stuff. I'm not really able to combine Lucy and Jack being a sophomore in high school and Lucy being in 5th grade. So it's a little bit more challenging, but we're making it work. So I am going to plan out this week, this next week. This past week has been pretty crazy. We were away last week, and the start of this week, we were down in Boston and visiting a college and going to homecoming for the college for Matt and I, and meeting up with old roommates and stuff and seeing some family. It was a wonderful week away. And we did a lot of field trip type things and fun things, like all the historic stuff in the city. So that was a lot of fun and got a little bit counted for homeschool. But at the same time, we got home and honestly have not gotten back on track yet this week. A lot of it was just me trying to get laundry done and everything. And then Lucy and Emma were both sick Wednesday, Thursday. So now it's Friday. I'm trying this new Friday planning thing, and I actually did my weekly plan with me yesterday for next week, and I think that's probably already up, and I will leave it linked for you if it is. I actually kind of liked planning yesterday, but I'm not sure how accurate my plans are because I tend to do a lot of projects on the weekends. And now, because I already planned out next week with my projects, I don't know if I'll do more projects this weekend, different projects rather, or if I will get a head start on next week's stuff and then have some white space in next week. I'm not sure. So this is review and this is project notes for passion projects the week of the 6th. Okay. I don't even know what day it is, guys. Okay, so we're gonna start with Lucy. So we are working on order of operations for her math, and we're going to be working on exercise 8, and then 9 and 10 here. And then we are going to be doing, this is Wednesday, so we spent most of this week just going over the order of operations and trying to make sure that she understands it. It's definitely a little more challenging to do that than just normal everyday addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So that is okay. We can slow it down as we need to. She also has exercise, is that 12? Yes, exercise 12 for Friday. Let me see. Her book, she is reading, we're starting this book, Mr. Limoncello's Very First Game. And let's see, how are we gonna do this? I think we were supposed to start Mr. Limoncello's library Brave Writer Guide, the Dart, in September, but that just did not even happen. I don't know what I was thinking, but we haven't even started this book yet, so we'll probably do the Dart in November. I've got all of the pens out right now. All right, so, and then now we are still doing the Paddington Dart. We got off track. We were supposed to finish it the week that we were leaving for Massachusetts. We did school for like a half a week and then we left, and then we got back halfway into the next week. So I need to finish up that hopefully this coming week. We have gotten behind on mechanics practice, so we are going to do language arts week 6 mechanics here, language arts week 7 mechanics. These do not take very long. They're like 5 minutes, but we have been prioritizing the creative writing projects instead. We do not do all of the creative writing projects because we also use Brave Writer, so it's kind of back and forth. This is how I've always done language arts. We do use a good amount of the Sunlight language arts. We use all of the books from Sunlight, but then we also add in the Brave Writer guides and then some other creative writing projects, both from the Brave Writer book guides as well as their various writing programs. They have partnership writing. They used to have faltering ownership, but now it's called something else. And then they have a couple of other writing programs. I own them all except for the very early writer one. So we kind of go back and forth. We're doing week 8 science. And then I meant to write correct teaching textbooks problems from this week. She needs to do that. Wednesday is a passion project day, and so we try to just do usually English and math, and then they work on their passion projects, which for Lucy has been a lot of baking. She's also been like doing some different slime things and making videos, so it's been pretty good. For history, we have the lap book, which has been going great. I really enjoy it. I wish that there was a little bit more background information for each of the sections, and this might just be because I'm using an older level E, and the updated level E instructor's guide does have the lap books integrated into it. It's optional. You don't have to do that. But I'm almost considering getting the new updated level E instructor's guide just so that I can have that integration. It might be a little bit easier for me. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm just doing the next thing around when we would be talking about it in our normal history that we're doing day to day, but I think there may be extra information out there, or maybe I just need to download the new sample and see if there's anything in there about the lap book. Last year when we did the elections lap book, it came with a little booklet that each project that we did in the lap book had, you know, a page or two of information to read with the student, and this one doesn't have it. And so, number one, I don't know if it's supposed to, and I'm just missing it, or if that's actually in the instructor's guide, and that might be more valuable. I mean, all of the information, I kind of talk about it with her. It's not that I don't know what we're doing in the lap book, but sometimes it's easier to just have like a pre-written thing to read out. Okay, so then we have, what else do we have? We have science, history. We are going to be doing a new book. We're going to be starting this book by the Great Horn Spoon, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through this because the Turkey Walk book took an exorbitant amount of time, and I don't know if that's just because we have been gone so much this fall and doing stuff more outside the house, and so I don't have as much time to read aloud. I'm unsure, but we're just plugging ahead. Okay, so we have math, we have reading, we have English, science, history. She also does have her dailies, which are World Watch for current events. We'll do that 4 days. We don't do it on Friday, which is our screen-free day. She has Wordly Wise, and we do this 4 days. We don't do it on Wednesday because that's Passion Project Day. She has her cursive book, which is also 4 days, and Spelling UC, and that is also 4 days. Now for Jack. All right. So if you saw my update, I scrapped history for him, and that was good because honestly, it wasn't working. I mean, I liked it, and I think that it may have gotten better as we went along, but it just was not as good as I had hoped. And so we're just going to keep going. He is going to be doing teaching textbooks this week. That has nothing to do with history. Sorry, guys. I always write math first. Lesson 25, I think. And even though it is our screen-free day, just because of the number of lessons that Algebra 2 has, he is going to continue doing algebra or math, even though it's on a screen, on Fridays. He just gets that done first thing, and that is good. He finished The Hobbit this week, so next week we're going to start the Brave Writer guide for that. Hobbit, Brave Writer. I think it's a boomerang, and we will do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And he needs a new book. What is he going to read next? I think this is the next book that I have for him, Ender's Game, which is one that I have not read. How long is it? I think I'd like him to finish this by the end of October. Honestly, he will most likely finish it before the end of October, but I'm just trying to figure out when I'm going to have him do the questions and papers associated with this, because this is part of the English curriculum that I designed for him. Some of the books that I selected have Brave Writer guides with them, and so we use, there's, in Brave Writer book guides, there are what she calls big juicy questions at the end of the guide, and those are what we tend to use for both discussion as well as papers. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a guide for this, and actually I just want to double check. I think that I have questions for this, but I want to check and see if there is a Brave Writer guide, because sometimes some of the information that they have in their guides is just more than I have come up with on my own. If you're ever looking for information for Brave Writer to see if they have a book guide, if you go to the literature singles section of her website, I think it's under shop and then literature singles, they have all of the current ones that have been updated, but they also have a backlog, which you can find. It's linked under oldies but goodies collection. And so you can find some older guides. Those have just not been updated. They're still awesome. All of the guides that we used to do were the old ones before she updated the website and changed everything around, I think around 2020 or 2021 maybe, but she does not have anything for Ender's Game. Okay. I just needed to double check because all of my English stuff is in a Word document. So what we will do is when he starts reading this book, he will do written narration in a notebook, just things that he finds interesting every day as he's reading. And then we will have discussion about it towards the end of the week. And then I will give him some questions to kind of consider and then write a paper about, and that will be later on once he's finished with the book. But we do have discussion every week and he does the written narration. So okay, Ender's Game. So that's English. He has math and English. History, we're not doing history. We're moving to a personal development / entrepreneurship unit class. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Elective. And I thought we would be starting this week, but that's just not happened. And in fact, I still need to bind this. I need to punch and bind this before Monday, but I still have some time. Okay, so we're going to be starting What Color is Your Parachute for Teens? And how am I going to do this? All right, so we'll read chapter 1 next week and we'll see how far we get with this. On Friday, I like to spend a little bit more time on personal development with the kids. I don't know how that will be this first week because this will be the first time I'm going through this book. We did start, or I started What Color is Your Parachute, just the adult book with Emma last year. I feel like, was it last year? All of my years run together now, guys. I can't quite remember, but we got about 100 pages in and it was a little too much for teens. I didn't know that they had this book, and this is the 4th edition, so clearly it's been around for a while, but I just didn't even think to search for a teen book. Now that I have that one, that will be a lot better, and Emma may sit in with it depending on her schedule as well. Then we are going to be starting this entrepreneurship gather round unit, and honestly, I'm kind of considering bringing Lucy along because, first of all, when you purchase the gather round units, you can get like a family one and it gives you all of the versions, and these are meant to do with families with multiple ages. So it could be something. I'm not going to do that on Wednesday. See, I can't talk, you guys, and do this at the same time. So it might actually work to bring her into this. It might be fun for her. So he has Japanese, which he is working through. And then for CompuScholar, which is his science, he is doing Java programming. And he has Chapter 6 exam. He has Chapter 7. And I don't know if he will make it through all of Chapter 7 next week. I will just put it on each day, and then if he gets, oh no, not on Friday. If he gets through it all, great. If not, well, that's okay. We can move ahead because I think that Chapter 7, there are 4 lessons, 4 quizzes, his homework, activity, and exam. It's possible he'll get through all of it in 3 days, but we'll see. I'm putting his exam on Monday for Chapter 6 because he hasn't done it this week because we were out, we didn't have a full week. So he may not get through Chapter 7 exam, which is totally okay. All right, math, English, elective, foreign language, science. There is no history because we dropped that. Am I missing something? I don't think that I am. I think that this is everything. But he does also have his dailies. So he has World Watch. And actually, that reminds me, he will have his current events paper due here. And then he always has some sort of other creative writing assignment. And that is usually based on the book. And because I don't have the questions right here, I'm just going to put creative writing for right now. World Watch, Wordly Wise, In Other Words, which is practical / professional writing from Not Consumed. Last year they did In Your Own Words and it was really good. He has another, does he have another daily? Oh yeah, narration. Duh. Sorry guys. All right, so here is my plan for next week. Wednesday looks lighter, obviously, because it is Passion Project Day, and then Friday is Screen Free Day. I come in to write a review for the week, and then any project notes, mainly for Jack, for what he's doing. He sends me a report each week about what he's working on with his project, so I feel like things are going okay. This is my plan for next week. The next thing that I have to do is write out the kids' lists, which essentially is me copying this information onto these little week at a glance notepads from Erin Condren, which they unfortunately do not sell anymore. So I'm running low on what I have. I've bought so many over the years, but I'm getting close to being out. So I'm going to have to find something different. But I really like these because I can fit everything on here. Plus I have their daily tasks over here, and I write their chores for each day as well. And that seems to work the best for my kids. They can just go through the list. So I will write all of this stuff on here, but I add a little bit extra information. I don't need that extra information in here, like any specific questions or things that I want them to think about, or if there's something else I want them to consider when it comes to this work, I will also put it on here, just little notes, and then we go over all of this stuff on Monday during our Monday meeting. But I'm not going to film that because you'll just see me copying out this stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into my homeschool planning. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. If you're looking for more help and encouragement around home and homeschool and goals, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is always in the description box. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.